on YouTube, and as soon as this video is done, after its live broadcast, you're able to leave comments underneath it. The comment you'll need to leave this week in order to be entered to win your very own Kingdom Report mug: Disneyland Railroad. Disneyland Railroad is the phrase that pays this week. You have between now and Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time to enter yourself to win your very own Kingdom Report mug. Disneyland Railroad in the comment section beneath this video on YouTube. And on today's broadcast, Disneyland is teasing the Magic Band Plus arrival this fall. Hulk has debuted at Avengers Campus. Is it incredible? We'll talk about that. More character dining reopens at Walt Disney World and will be reopening in the near future. Epcot 40 merchandise and food has been revealed, plus the best food in the Disneyland Resort and so much more. Kingdom Report Live starts right after the countdown.
Come to this happy place. Welcome.
And we kick things off with a live look outside at the very hot, sizzling September Disneyland Resort. Space Mountain in the distance. And way, way off, we see not the Paradise Pier anymore. No, friends, that is the Pixar Place Hotel, now being completely remodeled and gutted. You even see there at the very top of the hotel, they've broken off parts of the wave lighting that we've all come to know and love. It's not going to be there anymore. How's it going, everybody? Wade for the Kingdom Report back with you once again, bringing you all the latest Disney Parks news and info. So happy to be with you. As always, hit that thumbs up button if you are watching on Facebook Live or YouTube. We appreciate you being a part of our little broadcast here on the weekend. Or if you're watching on demand later on, welcome aboard. Great to have a little bit of your time as well. Or if you're just listening to us on any number of the audio platforms, we appreciate you. Go ahead, rate, review, let us know how we're doing, as long as it's constructive. I don't want to hear any sort of crap about my hair anymore. I'll tell you that much. That's for sure. No, I'm kidding. I've never heard anything about my hair. In fact, it's not Garrett Hassel quality, but I like to think it's okay. Yeah. Doesn't shine like his. Speaking of Garrett Hassel, he's on the high seas right now, enjoying himself a little Disney Wish. Yeah, out in the Bahamas. So on that Disney Wish cruise out Florida side, and hoping that he and everybody on board stays safe and hopefully moves around the tropical depression that seems to be heading straight for Central Florida here in the next couple days. It sounds like he might be going right behind it as it circles in, based on all the models that we're seeing. So he may just luck out like he always does, that guy, I tell you. But great to have you with us, as always, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't done so already, make sure you are subscribed to our channels over on the Kingdom Report on YouTube or Kingdom Report Live on social media. Head on over, make sure you are locked on so you never miss an update, so you never miss a video, a photo, an informational clip that you need to make your Disney life just a little bit better. That's what we're here to do. Who's we? You may ask. Well, let me tell you. She's a travel agent. She's got Gwen Stefani's lipstick on. And she's here with us today. Her name is Katrina Manzone.
Hi.
Hi.
Wow.
Look at this. This
Oh,
is
my.
the OG color
Wow.
from Gwen Stefani's lipstick line. I thought I would try it out.
I mean, I could tell the moment I saw her.
That's right.
Yeah.
Punk
like,
rocket.
Is
Yeah.
that Gwen Stefani's shade? I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Looking
Anaheim's
good.
best.
Anaheim's best. Rocking it. And of course, our theme park analyst extraordinaire, the guy who brings you peace, Tyler Crouch.
I bring peace.
You
Yeah,
do.
I could do that.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah. I've been known to do that.
You've been known, and you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't bring up Smuggler's Run.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
That is not peaceful.
You'll never find peace if
yeah.
you do that.
No, you'll never find. I'll follow you forever and talk about it nonstop.
You don't want that.
You don't want that.
don't want that.
Don't want that at all.
You want to be happy with your life. You want to be content. You want to find that peace. Never mention that around him.
No,
We've
no.
come to find. Yeah. Well, it's great to have you two along with us
Good to
here
be here.
today.
Yes.
Good to see everybody out there too.
Yeah.
Bob-
Joining us in live chat.
Bob Smith still wants me to be the CEO. I'm down with that. Thank you, Bob Smith.
He
Love
gets it.
Yeah.
He understands.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Bob.
He gets it.
Absolutely.
Peaceful
we got,
guy over here.
Yeah. Well,
Bring peace to the chaos.
That's true.
Prince of
True.
Peace.
That's what I do.
We call
Prince
him.
of Peace,
Prince
yes.
of Peace. Tyler Crouch,
right.
and CEO. Disney World Vacationer checking in on live chat. Trisha Murphy saying hello from Philly. We got Iceman hanging out with us, as well as Paul. So great to see everybody joining us in the live chat over on our YouTube channel, or those folks over on Facebook Live. It means so much to have you with us. And we've got a lot of Disney news to jump into here. Let's not waste any time. I believe it is time for the Disney News Review. Let's go. Disney News Review time. Taking a look at some of the biggest stories coming out of the last week of the Walt Disney Company. And we're going to kick things off today by talking a little bit about the holidays. Yep. Christmas time, my friends. It has been confirmed now that the special ticketed Merriest Nights Christmas party events will not be returning this year to the Disneyland Resort. Last year, the after-hours party was held at Disneyland on 5 select nights in November and December. Certainly costly party tickets, special event private parties they were. Katrina, you are our resident elf. Your reaction to the cancellation of the Disneyland Christmas party?
Okay. Don't be mad.
Nope.
I was actually kind of happy that they were not going to do a Christmas party.
Happy. What's this word you're using?
I don't call me a Grinch. I just thought the last one was kind of sad and subpar. Like with all the reviews that I was reading, it was only on for 5 nights last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I heard about it, I was kind of cringe because everybody just said that it was just picture opportunities. That was pretty much it for so this private event you had to pay for a ticket was just picture opportunities with with cutouts. It wasn't even with characters. The only good part was the Muppets, right? Singing on the 2-story.
That was a big deal.
That was it.
Right.
That was the only huge deal with this whole Christmas party, and then reduced occupancy for rides. And then I could see why when they were talking about maybe possibly doing another Christmas party, I was kind of worried because Christmas is a very busy time for Disneyland. Huge. And if they were going to extend it to 15 nights, they're really losing a lot of money because now they're doing this private ticketed event on top of having to shut down the park on could be a possibly busy day to do this private ticketed event when you can have other people come in and pay the daily ticket price and then on top of that buy merchandise and goods and stuff. So that's probably why they axed the Merriest Nights, because JPEG probably didn't earn enough money, right? So I feel like you would earn a lot of so that's why you didn't earn enough money. And then so I think that I'm kind of happy about it. On top of it, with the annual pass restrictions and stuff too, and then people really with all the blockout dates and stuff too, you're kind of hurting the magic key holder. Sorry, then you're kind of hurting them too. So I was kind of happy about it because if they were able to bring it to DCA, then I'd be totally fine with it. Like Oogie Boogie Bash, totally worth it, 100%. But if you're gonna close down Disneyland during Christmas,
The crown jewel.
they have the Christmas parade there, they have the fireworks show there, they have the lights. The lights on Small World, I swear to God, it is so good. I love it when everything lights up. But if you have to make that a special ticketed event, you're really like hurting the people that are going to be coming there all day and stuff, and they have to get like migrated over to DCA, and then DCA has like they close at 10, and then Disneyland would probably close at like 6, so you're kind of like losing a lot of money at that point. And especially like December is like it's busy regardless of the Wednesday or Thursday. It's always busy during December. So
now, granted, they
happy
were
about it.
very much in sort of a restricted capacity last year, given the fact that there were still some COVID protocols that were in place, and I think in a way, it almost felt like they did this in a way to preserve some of the holiday magic because they weren't doing as much last year, and so I think that perhaps the plan was to have sort of that small segmented group, make sure that they got the kinks out last year, even though they were only able to do certain amounts of things. And then I thought for sure we would see it come back this year because, let's face it, the parties in general typically bring in a truckload of money.
Yeah.
As we've learned from Walt Disney World's model, which they seem to expand every year and
all
hike
you
the
get
price
is a
up,
sugar
but-
cookie.
Yeah, well, get your cocoa and your sugar cookie.
This is it.
But I thought after last year, especially seeing the demand and sort of the excitement around it, that we would never have Christmas back the way that we knew it. I figured expanded dates this year. I figured, more nights we would see this thing. Wild to me that it just faded away like that.
Yeah.
Maybe they're taking a year off just to figure things out, and they'll
Retool.
come back next year and retool it, like you said, and then just maybe it'll be bigger and better, and we'll see. I kind of like Katrina. I like having Christmas just open to everybody during the holidays.
Everybody.
Or did I? Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. I like it just being open. So,
Holidays for all.
Yeah, holidays for everybody. So I just think that it would be a good thing if they didn't have a party.
Because it would be just
like,
so
what-
busy.
Like what the thing is like you can't. The thing about Halloween is they figured out extra things that you can do that don't involve like shows and things necessarily. Like, so like, let's say the fireworks, for example. All you're doing is seeing like a Christmas version of the fireworks, or whereas like if for Halloween you have activities that you can only do during that event.
There's
so
a Halloween parade.
yeah, like well, not just the Halloween parade, but I'm saying like trick or treating.
Yeah.
Going around and seeing all the different characters. Like, I just feel like they don't have as many Christmassy things that they can bring to the table that would like fit in with an event, and that you can like an activity you can only do during Christmas. Like, I don't know what that would be. So besides eating
like
a
what's a
single
unique thing that
sugar
they can
cookie.
bring to the table that'll make it worth buying a special ticketed price? Because like when they've done things at Disneyland for the special ticketed things, it's done like Star Wars night, Sweethearts night, the 50s night, so they had a theme going, and it was like a once in a lifetime thing you had to go to get it. But then it turned out they got cheaper and cheaper as it went on, and it was just picture opportunities, and the lines were so long. But then for Christmas, what unique thing are they going to bring to the table besides the Muppets singing or caroling that is going to make you want to buy that ticket? Besides having like maybe a reduced occupancy for rides, but then have picture cutouts, but then the parade is for everybody. They've done the parade. They don't really do it at night. They just do it like at dusk, not like dusk type time things in the afternoon. And then they have the fireworks show, but that plays all week.
Yeah.
So then what's unique for the
You're right.
Christmas
It's the
thing,
repackaging of what we've always had,
Yeah.
and then putting an extra price tag on it. Whereas, like you think Magic Kingdom, for example, a special parade that only runs during that event,
Right.
with the exception of a couple days right at Christmas time, I believe they open it up for everybody, and then a special fireworks show, right, that they custom created for that event. So there are a handful of options and offerings that are truly unique to the Magic Kingdom version of the Christmas party. So I've always understood that, and I thought for sure last year, especially after sort of the COVID time away of everything, I thought for sure that we would see sort of a retooling of Christmas offerings, to come back different and unique. And I know it's contested, but coming up with some new magic, at least for the Christmas Fantasy Parade, some sort of magic like that, right? That sounds beautiful. But at any rate, it would be great to have a Christmas party that had some worth to it if they wanted to do it again. However, if it's just repackaging, like you guys said, I don't really see
like a special
use.
dining package at Plaza Inn so you can see the parade in a special way.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't even like that stuff because like they did that for Halloween one year in Florida where they had where they had a villains kind of like dessert party up in the castle.
Oh,
But
yeah.
then you're paying money to go to the party, and then you're spending like 2 hours in
You're
the
missing
dessert
the party, right?
Yeah.
So you're not at the party. Like, so I don't even. That's not even the type of thing that would interest me.
Exclusive
you know?
on top of exclusive.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things where it's like the stuff that they put into that dessert party, that stuff should have just been in the park.
Yeah.
You know?
It's easy for Halloween too because it's like villains themes, like everything you can do, which makes it special, right? So you can go trick or treating and see all these villains. What can you do for Christmas? Like they don't really have a lot of Christmas movies to make it something where you can like even go semi trick or treating to go see these live action people talking to you and stuff, kind of like what they do for Oogie Boogie.
Yeah, I mean it's easy to have the Halloween stuff just circle around villains. You know, that makes a lot of sense. But for Christmas, it's like, oh, we could put a sweater on Mickey Mouse, like so it's just not as easy for them to pull out these kind of unique experiences.
Put him in his Gap attire and send him out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mickey Gap, you bet. Will you let us know, are you sad to see Merriest Nights set sail? Are you sad to see Merriest Nights head back to the North Pole? We'd love to hear from you. Let us know in our comment section. All right, friends, Magic Band Plus. Apparently it's on its way. We've been hearing about it all year, and now Disney has given one more nod as to when that might be. I mean, we're running out of months here in 2022. Spectrum News reports that a year after announcing that Magic Band would finally come to the Disneyland Resort, officials Tuesday released a teaser of the much-anticipated upgraded wearable technology that should arrive sometime this year, saying, quote, "We are just saying," this is crazy, "we are just saying fall for right now." A Disneyland spokesperson wrote in an email to Spectrum News. Disneyland officials said the Magic Band Plus offers wearers hands-free access and convenience as they stroll throughout the park. Visitors won't need to dig into their pockets, wallets, purses, or phones to look for or scan their theme park tickets. The Magic Band Plus can store a wearer's ticket to the park, check in at Lightning Lane entrances, and link their photo pass. The photo would go directly into their Disneyland account, of course, among other things. And Tyler, obviously, the demographic of guests who are dramatically different at Disneyland versus Disney World. How do you imagine the introduction of Magic Band Plus will go out west all these years after Orlando launched theirs? It's supposed to be the Plus version.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll go pretty well, honestly. I think that they'll sell a lot of them in the very beginning. I think that a lot of people who go to Disneyland, as we all know, are big just Disneyland fans in general. It's a lot of people who go on a regular basis, and so it won't be the learning struggle that I feel like a lot of tourists have when they go to Disney World, you know, to figure out all the Magic Band stuff. So I think they're going to do pretty well, especially in the beginning, because if you think about the way that things went out in Disney World, people were obsessed with Magic Bands for quite some time. I think that interest started to fall off a little bit, and then they kind of took it away from, you used to get one for free when you stayed at a hotel, and then they took that away, and then I think they realized, oh well, how can we make it exciting again? Oh, Magic Band Plus, let's add like some lights to it, let's do a golden statue thing. It all seems cool from the outside, so I think sales will decline pretty quickly, but they'll make a big bunch of money in the beginning. And I think what they need to do is just keep up with the experiences and actually design some things around the Magic Band Plus, because if they keep up with the experiences, they can keep on selling them, and I think that would be the way to go. I think it was really cool years ago. They changed the name a couple times. I can't remember what the first name was, but the second one was made with magic, I think, and it was like they had paintbrushes that you could, and then they had like hats, they had like Mickey ears that would change colors with the shows, like and so
Glow with the Show.
Glow with the show. That's the
Yes.
other one. Glow with the Show, made with magic. I don't know why they had two different names. I guess it wasn't selling well enough, and they just
They tried to restructure.
they tried to rechange it, rejigger it around, but the hats went with the shows. But then the cool thing was, like I mentioned, the paintbrush. You could interact with other guests by taking the paintbrush and like pointing to people's ears, and then you could change the color of people's ears with your paintbrush. And that was always like a really fun thing to do. And if they could just come up with little experiences like that for the Magic Band Plus, I think that would keep it going for a little amount of time. And hopefully, because this has different, abilities than those glow with the show ears had, hopefully, it has more utilitarian action, I guess. Hopefully more people will buy these than they did the ears, because the ears didn't go over very well. But yeah, I think time will tell. I think it's going to sell real good at first, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, probably that initial interest right out of the gates.
Yeah.
And I always thought the glow with the show ears were going to like take off because of how many people I saw with them. And then I realized those were given out.
Right.
Most of them,
Yeah.
initially, that Disney was really pushing them for the sake of like virability and video. Social media stunts were performed with them because it looks cool when you have a whole audience wearing ears that, react to what's going on in the atmosphere. But they never really did take off the way that they probably should have in Disney's eyes, right? So,
I think it was just too expensive. I think they were like $50 for a pair of ears, and it was just so expensive, and it only did that one thing. Like, and if you didn't,
and you can't see them.
and you can't see them too.
They're in
That's
your head.
true.
Be like,
And honestly, all of the promo stuff that you're mentioning, it did look very cool to see this whole, wave of color going through all the people. But in reality, I went to a preview for World of Color where they did give me a set of ears. And in reality, when you're in the audience and you're watching like World of Color or something like that, you really just have lights in front of your face that don't really, it's like, unless you're like further back, it's just kind of annoying. So, I think that it solves a problem of the lights being in people's faces by putting it on the wrist with the Magic Band Plus. But then at the same time, people don't watch a show like this, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
right,
you're not watching a show like with your arm up the whole time. So is it really going to be? I don't know. I haven't seen a show yet with the Magic Band Plus, but time will tell to see if it's cool or not.
I have so many things to say. No, I think for Disneyland it's gonna fizzle out because like Disney World, there's always new people coming. They don't really. I mean, they have a big AP like format too for people, but I feel like they just have those people that come once or twice a year versus Disneyland where people come like all the time.
Yeah.
And then they kind of fizzle, like people will just fizzle out on these things. So like, yes, it'll be exciting to get different magic bands and pair them with your outfits, and they'll come out with a new one and people will like, oh, I gotta get it type thing. But then it'll slowly just plateau with their sales unless they create something interesting for Disneyland in general, like the Sorcerer of the Magic Kingdom type thing, right? So you show up with your magic band, you're able to play it throughout the day. Because a lot of those annual pass holders, or magic key holders, they don't really, we go on rides, but we don't go on rides that much. And then on top of it, it's supposed to be like for a charge card. You put it on your phone or on your like band, you put your credit card so you can charge stuff to your room. A lot of these people don't stay on property to do that. And then so if they created something where it made you want to wear the magic band and say, oh my gosh, I want to play Sorcerers of the, of Disneyland. And then they put those screens up and you have to use your magic band to use it. Or they do over at in Adventureland with the Pirates game. Like, I love that thing. When we go, I always have to make sure we sign up so we can play it. And if they did that over at Disneyland, I think it would go really well. I know that the new Magic Band Plus, you can use it at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, but I think you still have to use your phone on top of your magic band. So you still have to use up your battery on your phone to play the game versus having something where it doesn't use up your phone, like the Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom or the Pirates game or something. So you need to create something.
They need to build entertainment around it.
Yeah, they need to build it because I'm not, like what Tyler said, it's like I'm not going to watch a show like this up and down to make sure I watch it, and it honestly doesn't, it's easy to pull out my wallet and then just scan my card. When you pay for stuff at a store or something, they're still going to probably have to see your phone to see if you're an annual pass holder for your magic key holder. So you still have to see, they still want to check. So they still have to scan it. It's not like I'm going to use my magic band and they're going to be like, oh, You're a magic key holder. Got it.
I mean, hopefully it'll be tethered to that because
I really hope so.
If you can tether park admission, you can tether a magic key ID, and yeah, it would be great, especially getting people away from just being in their phones all the time, because Disney has increasingly over the last couple of years, especially Disneyland, they have now driven entire segments of the park population to just be on their phone all the time out of necessity to get things done for the day. So hopefully this will get people away from their phone and a little bit more back into the atmosphere that Disneyland was meant to be. That would be nice to see. Magic Band Plus coming our way this fall, as we have heard from Disneyland now. Are you looking forward to it? Will you be partaking in the Magic Band Plus? Are you going to buy one? We'd love to hear from you. Let us know in our comments section. All right, friends. Next up, Marvel's The Incredible Hulk has arrived to Avengers Campus at Disney California Adventure. The Hulk is here, and we were promised a couple weeks ago by Disney Parks Chairman Josh D'Amaro and head of Marvel, Kevin Feige, that the Hulk was the biggest character meet and greet they'd ever undertaken, and that he was arriving at California Adventure for a limited time, whatever that means. We don't have a for sure date yet as to when he's going to depart, but for now, he's meeting and greeting. And we'll take a look at the video here. He is a big, big monster. If you're not watching, he is gigantic. He is coming out in what he wore at the D23 Expo, and that is the sort of Avengers jumpsuit that they use to go from dimension to dimension. And I think that that's done out of necessity for the sake of his mouth not moving, because you can hear him, he talks, but you can only really see like his eyes, to a certain degree, and then you can see his like wrists and hands and
I'm
stuff
assuming
like
his
that.
skin would look weird too on his arms.
Yeah, bubbling green.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Well, Katrina, he's the biggest character ever created for meeting and greeting, but he is in fact interesting. That's the word we'll use. But is he incredible?
I mean, I think if I was a child walking up to the Hulk, I think I would probably faint for how massive he is. I mean, he's huge. Like how many? Like he's like 2 people high.
He's a big boy.
Almost like, right?
Yeah.
He's gigantic, but as like an adult, it's weird, right? Because it takes a little bit of time for him. Like you say something, it takes a couple seconds for him to interact with you because they're trying to get that whatever
Soundbite.
Soundbite, yeah, that's the word. For him to relay it back. And so it's kind of like meeting Sorcerer Mickey over at Magic Kingdom, right? You say something to Mickey, it kind of takes a couple seconds for him to say something back. But for a kid, they don't see that stuff. And it is actually really cool. And that's why they have Black Widow kind of come with him to break up that awkward tension. Because if you saw in D23 and you see poor Chapek trying to talk to him and he's just like, or was it Chapek? No, it was D'Amaro. And then it was like this awkward interaction because there was a couple seconds of
that was even choreographed, right? It still came off really bad.
It was brutal, but I mean, just to see him. I mean, when you see Groot too, like Groot is huge, and it's always fun to see him walk around, and then just to see him, the doors open like, and like the smoke comes out, and he's like walking out. It's a little awkward to see him walk, but I mean, it's still really cool. I mean, they kind of had to block his face because you can't see him talk and. But it's, I mean, still for like a kid to walk up and see the Hulk, I mean, that's got to be cute. I cannot wait to see it, to be honest. I'm curious how long they're going to keep it. They're probably going to maybe restructure it or put a Christmas sweater on him for Christmas. How cute would that be?
That would be pretty good.
And then he put like a little ho, like a little beard on him so you don't
Santa
see
hat.
his mouth, Oh my God. How cute would that be? All right, Disney, listen. Let's talk.
She's got ideas.
I have things to say. But other than that, I think it is going to be, I think it's really cool that they kind of created something else beside like just like a new character because everybody's been waiting for the Hulk to come.
And now that he's not, enraged all the time and his character has evolved.
He's calmed.
Yeah, right. He's at
zen.
peace. He's got Tyler Peace in him.
Yes.
Yeah, now that he is Zen, they can afford to have him around. He won't destroy things and kill people.
That's right. Yeah. He's
why not?
contained. He's got Black Widow to sing him a lullaby, talk him down if he gets angry.
Fortunate.
Yeah. He's pretty cool. I'm excited to meet him. I think like Garrett said, he looks a little bit like a toddler walking around.
Yeah.
And the thing is though, is that I feel like it's hard to do a like biological creature in this type of format. Like if you think about like Universal Studios doing the Transformers, and they have a very similar kind of suit, I think, on, but it looks more, your brain is cooler with it because it's a machine. Like you're looking at a machine, whereas this is supposed to be like a man, a big green man, but you know.
Yeah.
So it looks a little weird when his arms are just constantly like this and his fingers are just kind of like this, and you're like, you know, he looks a little strange. But I am happy that they keep on putting entertainment in Avengers Campus. Like
Amen,
that
yeah.
Who needs rides?
that is
You know,
the
who
best.
needs it?
Like I know we're making fun of the Hulk a little bit, but I am just so happy that they just keep expanding the repertoire. Like,
Yeah.
and that's what Galaxy's Edge lacks so hard, honestly. So it's just nice to see them do so much with such a little space.
Yeah. I mean, everybody wants to go into Avengers Campus to see the characters.
Right.
And then there's like a couple times where you go and you want to see Boba Fett and stuff. And then now like the Mandalorian's going to be coming out with Grogu. But how long did it take? It took like 4 seasons or 3 seasons of Mandalorian for them to actually figure out something to bring them into the park. With like, you know, Loki or something. They literally like brought it out
Same
week
week.
by week, you
Yeah.
know? They always just had a new Loki out, and then they had and then when like, you know, was it what's Shang-Chi? Like he came out, and then Miss Marvel came out. Like they always had it right on the money. They didn't wait 2 years and then people kind of forgot, and they were like, "Oh, who are you again?" You know,
Right, yeah.
type thing. So like Marvel's on it, and so that's why I love Avengers Campus. It's so small, but it's always changing, right? But even though like you don't need a new ride, you don't need any of that. They always have just like new characters, and it makes you excited. Versus like Smuggler's Run's going to be the same, the ride's going to be the same, and you barely have any characters that walk around, and you have the same characters that walk around, and it gets boring. So I'm excited that like Avengers Campus is actually like evolving.
Yeah, it feels like a lived-in place,
Yeah.
and certainly there's a degree of freshness that comes with that as they change things up week to week and month to month. And whenever something new drops, you know, on Disney Plus or one of the networks, suddenly they show up at Avengers Campus. It is
love
pretty
it.
cool to see. So you let us know. You're looking forward to seeing the Hulk at Avengers Campus. Limited time. Again, we don't know the necessary end date of when Hulk will be departing, but he is there now. So if you're looking forward to seeing him, maybe trying to give him a little bit of a fist bump. They keep him back at a distance, I noticed. So he's got like ropes around him, so
Yeah.
you can't get too
I
close.
can't imagine him walking around with children and then the children getting in between his legs.
Yeah,
It'd be very
probably
scary.
big risk, right?
Yeah, that
keep
is
him
the
under
funny
the
thing
sensor.
about him, is because he's supposed to be this refined Hulk. He's the scientist Hulk. Like, but then at the same time, like, oh no, ropes around him. He walks around like a toddler. Like he still kind of looks like he's still the Hulky Hulk.
Yeah.
because he's like, can't trust him, you know. And anyway, but
You never know.
yeah, I'm glad that he's there.
He might snap one day.
Yeah,
Let's
you
hope
never know.
not,
It's
right.
true. Yeah.
Well, let us know in the comments if you or somebody looking forward to meeting the Hulk in person. We change gears now, going from Disneyland out to Walt Disney World. Over in Orlando, Epcot is about to celebrate 40 magical years, and Disney is going to celebrate in a few ways. Click Orlando reports that debuting at the Creation Shop inside Epcot, guests will be able to find special collections of merchandise that pay tribute to the theme park's rich history. Disney said these items include new retro design spirit jerseys, Loungefly, mini backpacks, trading pins, an assortment of Epcot family t-shirts and long sleeve shirts, Minnie Mouse headbands, and of course a collection that draws inspiration to everyone's favorite purple dragon figment. Disney also shared that when guests enter the park on select days surrounding the anniversary, they will have the chance to try an assortment of celebratory food and drinks. Beginning September the 30th, enjoy a 40th fiesta. Celebrate the colors of the anniversary of Epcot with a frozen margarita in a Mexico 40 souvenir cup. At Sunshine Seasons at the Land, enjoy Figment Sponge Cake with Honey Lime Mousse, available September 29th through October the 3rd, and funnel cake that is unique to the celebration over at the American Adventure Pavilion. Among so many other different options, of course. The food list goes on and on. However, Tyler, the D23 Expo has come and gone without a word relating to Epcot's 40th anniversary, which was really quite a surprise. I think a lot of people were sort of anticipating it. We are starting to see things trickle out, though, with this news. What sort of hope do you have that Disney will celebrate Epcot correctly for this milestone?
I have very little hope. I don't. Yeah, I mean, I think basically everything we just named is what the plan is.
That's it, huh?
I think the merchandise and the food, and I mean, what more? I guess do you need from Epcot? Epcot is a lot about food, so it makes sense that they would do food offerings. But they're just like, oh, how about a frozen margarita in a cup that says 40? Like, I just am like, is that? I don't know. Is that special? I'm not sure. Maybe it's special to you. It doesn't seem that special to me. And a lot of this stuff kind of I feel like a lot of it gives me like Pride merchandise vibes, which is, I get that we're going with the colors of all the different logos from around Epcot, but, and there's nothing wrong with Pride stuff, but I just feel like, especially like the Figment cake, it's like that could also just be like a Pride dessert,
Sure.
I don't know. So to me, it doesn't seem like it's very unique offerings so far. And we're just getting T-shirts and backpacks that say Epcot 40 on them. And I think that's where we're going to end it. I don't think there's going to be any type of cool entertainment or events that happen. I think what we're looking at is what we're going to get. So if you like T-shirts and frozen margaritas, Epcot 40, everybody.
With a big old dropping of the ball with Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary, no doubt.
Yeah. I mean, what are they going to do? I mean, we saw what they did with the 50th.
I
It's
have one
basically
idea.
nothing.
Do you?
Oh, you do? What's that?
When I walk in October 1st and I go on a ride, some little purple dragon better have a new outfit.
Oh, that's right.
Put a shirt on that thing.
Put a 40 shirt on that baby.
He gets his Christmas sweater. Put a 40 sweater on that. I was about to say
Well,
that.
I'm sold. That's all I need.
Come on, Disney, hire
Yeah.
me. Jeez.
Well, at least they did announce at D23 that you could meet Figment next year, right? So
Next
that is
year?
something, yeah.
Which is,
He is coming back.
I wasn't here for the. I wasn't available for the
You were saving the
D23
world.
discussion.
He was
That's true.
busy.
That's what I do. I save the world. I bring peace. But until I start talking about things that upset me, then the peace is gone. So
It's gone.
the peace is about to go out the window.
Fire's about to start.
Is it not just the biggest insult ever to like massive Epcot fans that like they're out on the stage being like, guess what, guys? New information about your favorite purple dragon. It's gonna be the best. Are you ready? Meet and greet. Like.
That's new.
It's new, but
No
I mean,
false
were we
advertising
not-
there.
Make the ride what it should be, people. Like, make that ride is a disaster. It's a travesty. It is a former shell of what it used to be. I remember going on that ride as a little child, back before they changed it all. It was incredible. It blew my frickin' mind, and it doesn't do that to kids anymore. And adults go like, "What the hell did we just waste time on that for? Like, what the heck was that?" And it is so a disservice to how much people love that character and how much people love that whole idea to just say, oh, guess what, guys, there's a new meet and greet coming. I just think, like, come on, guys, build the ride, make the ride the way it should be. Really, what are we doing with our lives?
Prince
Okay.
of Peace.
Sorry,
It's a piece.
back to peaceful mode here.
Flip the switch.
Thank you.
Sounds like the studio audience is overjoyed with your declaration here that, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I
What are
mean,
we doing,
everything
guys?
ends like October 2nd, October 3rd for all these like special treats and stuff. And it's not like they're going to come out with like week 2 of the 40th seller. It's literally just going to be like the week.
Yeah, it
and
says
then
while supplies last on some of them.
Yeah.
Like,
pull the plug.
are you-
It's done.
This is a week's worth, maybe.
Like
What
I
are we
remember the
doing here?
35th and it was like massive. We showed up on October 1st and it was like wall-to-wall traffic. Everybody was trying to get the special merchandise and stuff. We did fall for the 35th plastic cup, mind you. But
Well, that is their
that's different.
That is one of Disney's biggest issues is they need to be clear about what things are like limited and what will be around for like a year and a half. Because like for Disneyland 60, for example, I remember we were in line for like hours to buy like some of that merchandise because you don't know what's going to be around. What are they going to reproduce? What are they only going to make one time? They didn't really tell you that sort of thing, and they still don't. And so I remember overhearing a cast member being like, I can't believe these lines are so insane. Don't these people know this stuff is going to be here for a year and a half? And I kind of wanted to turn and be like, no, nobody knows what's going to be here. Like, nobody knows how long the Diamond Celebration is even happening for. So
some of the stuff sold out pretty quick and never was reproduced. Some they reproduced too much, and then everybody was like, we don't want any
But
of
I think
this.
they do it on purpose because when people see these giant lines going down Main Street or whatever to buy this merchandise, it's going to be the same thing with Epcot 40. Like, it creates
FOMO.
It creates FOMO. It creates, you want this thing. Oh, there's a giant line. I guess that thing's important. I should go buy it. So they do this on purpose, and they manipulate us, and it's kind of poopy. But
very poopy.
But anyway, that's Epcot 40 for you.
I feel like they need to like always sell that cute little figment roll thing because it's just adorable.
It's pretty.
It's
pretty
cute.
Precious.
I mean, I feel like it's really cheap to make, obviously, because it's just flour and cream and a couple pieces of chocolate. But I feel like they should always keep that and selling it nearby, like that area, because it's just adorable. You don't need to sell it just for a week and then pull the plug.
Yeah,
it's adorable
all year long.
Why not?
Let's go.
Figment cake. Let's get it done. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing, gang?
What's happening?
Come on.
Tyler Krause for CEO.
There we go. Hey, the campaign continues. And you let us know, Epcot's 40th. Would you go out of your way for it? Is that something you'd make a special trip for? Certainly doesn't sound like there's anything truly over the top going on when it comes to this celebration. We do know from D23 and the announcements that something new is coming to Epcot's World Showcase Lagoon nighttime, spectacular-wise, so that is at least a little positive.
Make it good.
Maybe Illuminations Epcot 40. We'll see. But at any rate, we're always interested in hearing your perspective. Let us know in our comments. All right, we move along now. Disney World character dining getting a little bit bigger. Once again, reopening some of the great restaurants that we've all come to know and love. In fact, Click Orlando reports that last week Walt Disney World announced that guests will soon get the chance to have breakfast with the lovable 100-acre wood characters on October the 25th. Those breakfast reservations at the Crystal Palace open on September the 22nd. For lunch and dinner, guests can choose from favorites like carved meats, freshly prepared pastas, delicious salads, and beyond. For dessert, guests can savor warm seasonal cobbler, butterscotch pudding, strawberry shortcake, and soft serve ice cream. On September the 27th, Ohana Best Friends Breakfast, returning for all of the magic, will be featuring Lilo and Stitch and will make its grand return to Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. Guests will be able to try an Ohana breakfast skillet, pineapple coconut breakfast bread, or Kona coffee while interacting with the popular Disney characters. If you've never done these breakfasts before, I highly recommend it. You'll even get to meet Mickey over at the Ohana breakfast, which he's not necessarily advertised. He's kind of like a secret guest, and he's always there. So definitely wonderful to have the character dining back at the Polynesian, as well as soon to be back at the Crystal Palace inside of Magic Kingdom, at least for lunch and dinner over at Magic Kingdom right now. All right, my friends, you stick around. There's plenty more Kingdom Report live for you next. Remember those carefree days of childhood where the magic still existed? When you didn't feel guilty about eating mountains of cereal with, we'll just say, questionable nutrition? Well, now you can have your cereal and you can eat it too. Because Magic Spoon has re-engineered that same great taste with grown-up ingredients for an absolutely game-changing Cereal 2.0. I adore cereal. I treasure cereal. It's one of my favorite things to eat, but I just can't justify eating mounds of sugar in every bowl. I don't need to worry about that with Magic Spoon, because it's high protein, low carb, and 0 grams of sugar in each serving. I know, it's hard to believe, but it also comes in 6 delicious flavors: frosted, fruity, cocoa, cinnamon, blueberry, and peanut butter. Plus, they've got limited edition flavors released throughout the year, like gingerbread or peaches and cream. So taste that magic of childhood all over again and get yourself some Magic Spoon cereal. Plus, take $5 off your order at checkout. All you got to do is insert the promo code Kingdom Team. That's right, Kingdom Team at checkout will get you $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com. That's magicspoon.com. Promo code Kingdom Team. Kicking things off with the Disney list, taking a look at some of the best from the Disneyland Resort this week. And this week we are talking to you about the best meals, snacks that you would break a diet for, basically. Yeah, this is the best food of the Disneyland Resort. And here to talk about it, our theme park analyst Tyler Crouch, our travel agent Katrina Manzone, to share with us exactly what food they'd go out of their way for. You know, this isn't anything meal specific. Like I said, this could be snacks, this could be any sort of grub, excluding maybe drinks, of course. But food related, what across the property stands out to you? And Katrina, I suppose we will start with you. Of course, we always like to preface anything Katrina-wise with she does have a gluten allergy, so it limits and restricts sort of what she can focus on because it could kill her otherwise, and we don't want that.
Be very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Be very, very uncomfortable. Okay. This is like my all-time splurge because it's a lot to eat.
Oh.
Especially for if you have a gluten allergy, you know, if you try like other things that you're not really used to, your stomach's kind of like, whoa, what's happening?
Step back.
Hold on, pause, you know, that type of stuff. So when you go to Disneyland, you make your way into the hub, and then you go a direct left, and you just keep on running to Cafe Orleans. Just run.
Like that.
Like that.
Lightning speed.
Yes.
Wow, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
And then you go to Cafe Orleans and order a Monte Cristo. And it depends, like if you want all cheese or if you want the ham and turkey and cheese combo.
Oh my.
And then
You need the ham and turkey.
and you do, yeah. You really do need
You
the
need the
texture.
ham and
I don't know
turkey.
who orders the cheese. It's like unless you can't eat meat.
Right.
Then yes, order the cheese. Unless you're if you have
dairy
if
intolerant.
you're a dairy intolerant, don't order it.
Let's
in
make a
general.
consideration for every possible
I'm sorry.
diet situation.
Sure.
But before back in the day, you had to pre-order your Monte Cristo through like a special line. You had to call 24 hours in advance, and if it was less than 24 hours, you couldn't get it. Like
Wow.
they would be like, I'm sorry.
Oh my.
They would try to do their best, but they have an oil that they would have to keep at a different temperature for it actually to cook or heat up and then to cook and stuff. And then it takes a while for them to make it. But now apparently they say that you don't need to do that anymore, because I remember doing it and the lady's like, oh no, we changed it. We're actually we have like a dedicated fryer now, and we're able to do it day of.
Oh, outstanding.
And so they just advise you, like, if you do want the Monte Cristo before your reservation, to maybe show up a couple hours before just to mention it that you would want it, so then they can like be prepared and ready to go. But it may take a little longer at the table. And also they say that you can do it at the Blue Bayou too for the gluten-free Monte Cristo.
Wow.
But so tasty. And then on top of it, because I know they changed their portion sizes for it, that you used to get for a regular glutinous Monte Cristo, you used to get like a full one, but you only get a half with fries. But with us, you get a full sandwich with a side of fruit, which is like, I think, a better option. Because I chow down on that Monte Cristo. I'm like, oh, no. So good. But then afterwards, you're stuffed. So that's like my splurge. My other one would be I get like the potato flautas over at the Lamplight Lounge Brunch. So good. So good. And it's I'm not, I guess, is it vegetarian or vegan? I guess it's under the plant-based, because it has plant-based chorizo
I think
on
it is
it.
vegan because because even like the sour cream is like not sour cream. So
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
So it's really tasty, and then they have like the sauce, and it's spicy, and I always ask for extra because it's so good. And then on top of it, it's like a potato fiesta, because honestly, like I want like the confit potatoes too on the side, because they're so good. So I literally will splurge and have potato flautas with the chorizo and then a side of the confit potatoes, because they're just like roasted potatoes, but they have cheese fried on it. So like on one side there's like just cheese.
I feel like people sleep on that brunch,
so
but
good.
the Lamplight Lounge brunch is actually very good.
I feel like it's one of the, as she was mentioning it, I was thinking to myself, how many people even know there's a brunch there?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I feel like so many
If
people.
you know, you know, and that's why
Yeah.
there's no reservation.
And I'll tell you, a lot of locals, I think, are huge fans because
Oh,
they
man.
know, right? You know, they're aware of it, and I'm pretty sure it was created because of locals. So,
sure.
And
as a
it's
matter of
only on,
fact,
you
yeah.
know, Friday, Saturday, Sundays, I
Yeah.
think. I don't know if they changed it, but man, it is that is like a really great brunch. And then I'm sure all the other food for brunch is great, but those two things are like my all-time like splurge favorites.
Yeah. I mean, if you're coming out from out of town and you know you'll be here across the weekend,
do it.
Vie for one of those reservations because it's totally worth it. I've done it myself. It is,
It's just
it stands
relaxing, refreshing. You go down by the water.
Yeah.
You just
Exactly,
you just have
right
a nice
there on the
drink,
water,
and
and
it's okay, like because it's not hot yet outside, so you're able to like sit outside, sit inside. But sometimes in the afternoon, you probably don't want to sit outside because the sun's like beating down on you. But man, the brunch is money.
Dash running nearby on the Incredicoaster.
Oh, it's
right
so
next
good.
to Sonic the Hedgehog.
I always tell everybody, and they're like, "Oh, is there like anything you want to do?" And I'm like, "Do you like brunch?" So that's like my first question. And they're like, "Yes." I'm like, "Fantastic."
I know something I want to do.
Oh my god, I have a client. They want to do it. I persuaded them to do Lamplight Lounge brunch. I was like, yes. So I thought that was a win.
And if you're a Pixar fan, what a great restaurant to go hang out at.
I mean, it is like,
Yeah.
I mean, you could hang out there all day if you could, but they'd probably kick you out. They'd be like, "All right, you're done." There's like a time limit.
Yeah. Hit the bricks.
Get out of here. And then my last one is I'm not a big sweets person, but I do sometimes when I'm like very like, to hell with it, I'm just gonna go for it. Type day, I want a cookie over at Sprinkles. They have a really good gluten-free chocolate chip cookie.
Oh, okay.
And it's like soft cookie.
Yeah.
So and it's really nice. It's actually like pretty thick too. So I forgot how much it is. It's pretty pricey, but I don't really like their cupcakes because they're overpriced for what you get. But their cookie is delicious. So sometimes I'll take my cookie and then go get a B52 or something at Carthay and then just eat it and be like, nom, 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 nom. So that's like the only time I really want sweets. And
chocolate
then
chips smearing around
I have
in
an
your
honorable
purse.
mention though.
Yeah.
I will say for people who really love grilled cheese, and sometimes when you're on that day and that month, you really need something like cheesy and salty.
If you want it, you want it.
You go to Jolly Holiday and you get yourself a gluten-free grilled cheese.
Oh,
Money. You pull that apart and you get the cheese strings, and then you dip it in the tomato soup, and you're like, nom, 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 nom.
you eat everything very similar.
Yeah,
it seems. Yeah,
She takes small
It's,
bites.
It's
She's like a little hamster.
I was gonna say very, very
Especially-
squirrel-esque of you. Yeah.
Even those like cheesy hot potatoes, I'm like,
Yeah.
It's how you savor.
It's kind of awkward. Sometimes I have to tell her, use your fork and knife. What are you doing?
Cheese all over the place. Katrina. Gosh dang
at
it.
least it's better than being a ghost from Casper. When they eat it, it just goes right to the floor.
Yeah, I always thought that was great.
Timely reference.
So, yeah, right. Thank you. What a throwback. Yeah. And Tyler,
Yes.
what would you go out of your way for? Disneyland Resort has an awful lot of options and some hidden
So
gems.
many.
Kind of like that Lamplight Lounge. I think that menu is such a hidden gem.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah.
got?
I think one of my favorite things about Avengers Campus is kind of the new food that they've brought. I mean, they've got the characters, the food. We don't like to talk about the ride. But I will say the number one thing that I think Avengers Campus brings to the table, well, besides the characters, is the chicken shawarma. I think the chicken shawarma
Very
is ridiculously tasty. But the reason I say it's like, I think people would be like, well, it's chicken. It can't be that bad for you. But first of all, it's like dark meat chicken. And then there's this like, I don't know, most people if you're not from California, you may have not heard of a place called Zenku Chicken that has this amazing garlic sauce. And I feel like Disney was like, hey, what if we tried to replicate this garlic sauce? And it is fantastic. It comes with a little side of like a vegan tzatziki, which is like a coconut milk base, I think, but it doesn't taste like coconut. It tastes like tzatziki. It's great. And you just kind of dip your shawarma in there. You act like you just saved New York, and you have a great time. You maybe go grab a drink over at Pim's, and it's just like, it is so good. I think it's like the best street food that Disney sells now, and I know a lot of people love the corn dogs and whatnot.
Get an AP discount.
Yeah.
Oh, even better.
The chimichangas are good too, but I think the shawarma is where it's at. And I think the falafel one is pretty good, but the chicken one is really where it's at with that garlic sauce, man. Good Lord. I think another one for me is all the way, you leave the parks, you go all the way out, head over to Disneyland Hotel, head over to Trader Sam's, and you get yourself a zombie. No, I'm just kidding. You go for the kind of number one snack I think that everybody wants when they go to Trader Sam's, which is the panko crusted long beans.
Ooh.
I've had those.
Those things are like crack. You know, yep.
Major goal.
And it comes with this togarashi aioli, which togarashi is like a Japanese spice that has like I think like 6 or 7 different ingredients in it, you know, including like red pepper and stuff.
That
so
sauce is tasty.
it's very good. I remember we were sad when they got rid of this sriracha aioli and brought the togarashi, and we were like, what are they doing? Why are they doing this? And it's actually pretty much just as delicious. So I mean, those long beans, you got, and they give you like a huge pile of them. So you get the big, you know, they're the green long beans that have like the little panko bread on the outside. You dip them in the togarashi, and it's just, you're in a crunchy heaven. You're in a crunchy heaven. So it's a good time, and hey, it's a good way to get people to eat their vegetables.
You just keep eating it.
Yeah.
Well, that's not how you eat. There it is.
There we go. Thank you.
That's how I eat a green bean.
She even does it with the aioli. She sticks her fingers in, and she's like, it's weird. Anyway.
I wish I could try them. They look really good.
Little nibbles.
Yeah. So my last one here, this is not a snack or street food. This is actually just a straight up entree over at one of my favorite places in the entire Disneyland Resort, which is Carthay Circle, of course.
I thought you were going to say Steakhouse 55.
R.I.P.
Brum, brum.
Oh.
Boom.
Yeah, goodbye.
Sorry.
I'm saying, hey, I get it.
And you know, now it's just sitting there sadly.
There we go.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I walk by it every time I'm there, and I wondered the same thing. What was the point of this?
Why would they do
What's
it?
happening?
It must have been all staffing or something, or maybe the people that were working there were getting paid too much, and they're like, I don't
think
know.
that's it.
I mean, I don't know if that's it. That's just a speculation. But anyway, over at Carthay Circle, back to Carthay Circle.
Reel
Steakhouse
it in.
55.
Yeah.
Much love. They have a great dish, and you got to go sooner rather than later because they change their menu like all the time, and you never know.
It's a seasonal
when
menu,
it's
right?
gone.
Yeah. That's right.
But so the braised beef, birria style pot roast.
This is upstairs restaurant,
It's
not
in
downstairs.
the upstairs. You can't get this downstairs. You have to go to dinner upstairs. It is freaking insane. It is like one of the best braised beef dishes I've ever had in my life. There is a sauce on top of it, and this is why they call it kind of like birria style, because I think it's like a cross between like a beef consomme type of thing with like a pepper taste to it. Some kind of pepper is in it. I think it's like a poblano or something like that, and it's just a fantastic sauce. It comes on these amazing little grits. The only thing I would say about it is they don't give you enough grits. It's like this little smattering of grits, you know, but
You need a little bit more.
I wish it was a little bit more. And it comes with avocado and pico de gallo to kind of cool it down and kind of bring some
Freshen it.
creaminess to the fatty celebration, you know. And it just falls apart. It melts in your mouth. It's a big piece of beef too, and you get that, man. A couple Parker rolls, you're set. You're
rolling
you're
out of
living
there.
life.
Money.
You are living life at that moment. So
It's so good. And it's also gluten-free.
Oh,
yes. But I think that is like by far their best entree that I've had in recent months. Anyway.
Besides their pork chop. No one can beat
Well,
their
yeah,
pork chop.
that's one of the
Except
greatest
for
pork chops
Lamplight.
I've ever had too. But I
that
mean,
seasonal dish is just
and it's just
delicious.
it's just funny because one day I feel like, I mean, of course, birria tacos are not like a new thing, but I just feel like all of a sudden they're sweeping Southern California.
oh
in
yeah.
like a
They've taken over
in like a
yeah.
major way.
that Instagram
and,
videos, man. Everybody just kept seeing them and they're like, oh, my mouth's watering. And they just started to like pop up everywhere.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but it is so fantastic. I highly recommend you get over there and try that, and try, and you know what? On the same day, try the long beans and also the shawarma. Do it all. Who cares? You're
Shawarma
on vacation.
appetizer. Then you go get your birria. And then you walk yourself to your car, but then you pull over and you go get your long beans.
But before
And then
that,
you continue walking to your car after
before you even get out of the park's vicinity, get yourself a grilled cheese.
that.
Yeah.
Get your gooey grilled cheese. So tasty.
I kind of want to have a fourth one as well. Just
Oh.
a quick,
Please.
Just an honorable mention is I think the best burgers you can get at Disney are at the Black Tap. Go to Black Tap, get a Greg Norman.
Pretty
That's
outstanding, yeah.
That is like the best. Don't go to if you're really feeling burgers, just go to Black Tap. Like trust me on this. But other than that,
Greg
yeah.
Norman? That's what you
The
said?
Greg Norman. It's like
Norman.
it's a
Wagyu
blue
beef.
cheeseburger with with like some arugula on it. It's tasty.
But it's
really
like
good.
a different burger patty than the other burger patties that they use. 'Cause
It's like a high.
Wagyu.
It's the Wagyu stuff.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's like
different.
fatty and stuff.
It's really good.
I don't like it because I don't like blue cheese, so I've never tried it. So.
Well,
But
there's
if you
that.
get a salad, it never ends because there's salads with a little burger on it. It's like a massive salad. It's like huge.
Yeah.
You just keep eating it, and you're like, did I make a dent? No.
I did not. It's probably because of the way you eat.
I guess I was
Yeah.
eating my lettuce like this.
Yeah. Again, it's awkward, people. I don't know what I'm about to marry this weirdo.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Imagine the reception. It's here. Feed her some cake. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, it's got to be gluten free.
It's gonna take a long
yeah.
time.
I'm there for hours. I'm like, oh, what's happening?
Will you let us know favorite food inside Disneyland? Again, snacks, restaurant entrees, your vending cart type items. What is it that you go out of your way for? Are you like a turkey leg person? Do you feel like that's something you need to savor? I think the shawarma is a great call and often gets overlooked. What is it on your list? We'd love to hear from you. As always, leave it in our comments. All right, my friends, you stick around. Plenty more Kingdom Report Live for you next.
Looking for some digital magic to help you through your week? The Kingdom Report is here for you, covering the latest Disneyland and Disney World news, experiences, and events. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Kingdom Report Live so you never miss an update. And drop a subscribe on the Kingdom Report YouTube channel for new videos every week. Don't miss out. Join this growing community of theme park fans as we aim to connect you to more of what makes you happy. For more information, visit kingdomreportlive.com. And now, back to the magic.
Well, that about wraps things up for us here today. As always, goes by way too quick, doesn't it? We want you to celebrate with us throughout the week. All things Disney parks. Head on over to the Kingdom Report on YouTube. Make sure you are subscribed, notification bell rung, so you never miss a thing. Also, if you haven't done so already, Kingdom Report Live on all of our social medias to stay up to date with all the things that are happening in the parks. And right now, over on our Instagram feed at Kingdom Report Live, check out what's happening on the Disney Wish, courtesy of Garrett Hassel, who is sailing the high seas out into the Bahamas. It's a hard life, but that boy is the only one that can do it. That's for sure. And we look forward to seeing you right here next week for another edition of this broadcast. Remember that the legacy of Walt Disney, it lives on because of people like you and me. We'll see you next Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, for another big edition, Kingdom Report Live.